Today I want to talk about organizational design. When we consider organizational design and any sort of organizational design review, I find it useful to have a conversation with people that focus on 4 areas. We need to talk about what it is not, and I start here because too many times people think it is something it isn't. Then I can talk about what it actually is, before I then explain why things go wrong, and finally how we can do things better. And this is the overview I want to give to you. Let's begin with what it is not. When we think about organizational design, for so many people, they immediately think organizational structure. They think about the way the structure, who reports to who, and all that side of things is going to be formulated. This is not organizational design. For other people, they start to think about an organizational design review requiring you to see how the puzzle pieces fit together for what everybody does, what all the roles and responsibilities are. This, like the organizational structure, may be part of the outcome of an organizational design review, but it is not what an organizational design review in totality. There's also some people who think it's about pushing square pegs into round holes, finding a way to shape and form people so that they fit into what the organization should look like. This is not the case. So let's think about what organizational design reviews are. Well, they link together strategy and purpose of a business, why you do something and what you do. It needs to actually understand a good organization's strategy and purpose, how they connect and who does what to make that happen. Similarly, we need to understand what the capacity of the organization is. What's the skill set, the capabilities, the knowledge? What can actually be done within the organization given the people, the tools and the space it operates within? What shape is a good fit for the organization? A good organizational design review will actually work up a shape that fits the whole of the organization, whether that be a flat or a high-based organization, whether it be silo-based, structural, matrix. There are a whole range of different shapes that might work. And of course, everything has to reflect the culture of the organization. The culture is what informs the way we do things in the organization, and it needs to reflect this. Why does it actually go wrong? What happens when somebody does an organizational design review and things don't go according to plan? Well, primarily it's because somebody starts off with a template and tries to force the organization to fit the template. They decide what the structure should look like and then start to make it appear that way. They start telling people where they go, how they go, and focus again on their structural hierarchy without thinking about what works best for the business. There's also a tendency for organizational design reviews to be done from a distance and not engage people within the organization. There is no understanding. We don't want to see what's going on, hear what's going on, or speak to the people that are doing these things. This results in us looking at things from a distance through a very narrow focused lens. We end up considering the organizational design structure from a singular focus. That won't help. How can we do it better? A few simple areas of consideration here. We can start with the end in sight, considering what the future should look like. We know what we want the business to be looking like in maybe 3, 5 or even 10 years. So let's start focusing with that in mind as what we want the organizational design to deliver against. We should be engaging people across all parts of the business, understanding what they do and getting their input, but also considering who needs to work with who and how they work best together. We should be building it from the inside out, beginning with the strategic approach and ending it with the tactical delivery. We shouldn't be beginning with a tactical approach in that structure, and we shouldn't be designing an organisation that is focused only on tactical delivery. We need to have this common thread running between the strategic, organisational, functional and tactical activities. And finally, we need to know when to stop designing. We need to know when we've actually hit the optimum point and stop redoing it. Too many times we over-engineer things. And when we over-engineer things, we end up continuing things until people lose interest. If you're interested in learning more about organisational design, you might want to register for our November the 23rd workshop in Toronto. To do so, just go to our website at www.capillarylearning.com or email us info@capillarylearning.com.